guys, it's Selena. I am here to talk to you tonight and do my persuasive speech about the importance of volunteering and fostering with your local animal organization or rescue. How many of you have pets at home? Studies done by the Insurance Information Institute in 2017 to 2018 show that at least 68% of all families have at least one pet. That's 89 million families. But how would your life be different if you didn't have that pet? What if there was no foster available to give that pet a home until they found you? What if there was no space available, no cage or crate at the shelter or rescue? Shelters and rescues are run by volunteers and are usually operating as a 501c3 organization, which means that they're tax deductible and they run as a charitable organization. This also means that no one is paid. Not the volunteers, not the president, not the treasurer, or the adoption coordinator. These people all do what they do because they love animals and want to try to provide the best lives they can for them and help them find their forever homes. If these people didn't exist and devote their time and energy to spending with these animals, feeding them, cleaning them, socializing them, euthanasia rates would skyrocket. And half of these animals would never get the opportunity to see the inside of an adoption center. The Humane Society of the United States page shows that between 8 to 12 million pets are thrown into kill shelters every year. Volunteers can work as much as they'd like to. There's no set schedule, there's no required amount of shifts that you must do. Most organizations are fine with you working or completing at least 1 hour each week. That's all it takes to provide services to some of the animals that are at the local Petco adoption centers, if that's the organization that runs some of those adoption vets in your area. Or you can volunteer as much as 3 to 4 hours a day. It's completely up to you. The amount of satisfaction and feel-goods that come with working with animals either through a rescue or a volunteer organization is unbelievable. And the Central California SPCA has a blog up, and they noted that the #1 thing that impacts the animals with their shelter is the amount of socialization they get with their volunteers, because friendly pets are adoptable pets. And the #1 thing that their rescuers and their volunteers get back is lower blood pressure and lower stress levels. And these have been scientifically proven. And that information, again, you can find on the Central California SPCA blog. And I mean, honestly, who doesn't want a less stressful life or to feel better? Fostering saves lives. When you open your home up to even one pet, it's opening up a cage or a crate at a local shelter or rescue where this pet would alternatively have nowhere else to go and sadly would most likely be euthanized. When you foster, most rescues will also give you all the supplies that you need, whether it's food, cages, collars, litter boxes, anything that you need is provided for by that rescue or shelter. And when you do volunteer or foster specifically, most people feel that that means you are tied down to this pet forever, and that deters a lot of people. And sadly, it's the complete opposite. When you're fostering an animal, we try to have them in homes for the minimum amount of time, because one of the biggest stigmas with adopting a pet is age. So the longer that they are with a foster family, the less likely they are to find a forever family if they're getting advanced in age. Sometimes you only need to keep these pets for 1 to 2 nights. Sometimes it's a longer commitment. It all depends on what you're open and willing to. Obviously, if you take in a pregnant mama and kittens, you're looking at least a 15 to 20 week commitment. But without volunteers and fosters, happy, healthy, and very adoptable pets would be euthanized. I pulled some statistical information from King George Animal Rescue, which is who I volunteer and foster and rescue with. And when we first opened our facility in our organization, which is also part of the animal control, in 2005, our figures were staggering. In 2005, the shelter took in 381 dogs. 177 of those dogs were euthanized. That's 46%. That same year in 2005, the shelter took in 375 cats. 336 were euthanized. That's 90% of perfectly healthy animals euthanized because there just was no space for them. Obviously, the program does work. In 2017, our stats were 294 dogs were taken into the shelter. Only 10 were euthanized. And those 10 animals that were euthanized were either aggressive or had health issues and couldn't be adopted. Also in 2017, 402 cats were brought into the shelter. Only 13 were euthanized, 3.2%, down from 90%. That's astounding. It does work. Volunteering and fostering makes such a difference in the life of these animals, but organizations like the ones I volunteer with cannot do it without you. We need people to step up and volunteer their time. We need people to step up and volunteer their homes to give these animals a safe place to sleep for even just a few nights until they can find their forever family. Think about your pet that you have. Wouldn't you want the opportunity to bring them home all over again? It will cost you literally nothing to help out, even for those few hours a week. But you're giving these animals everything. Thank you.